equal highs. Good morning, everybody. Can you guys all hear me good? Type 1 if you can hear me fine, and type 2 if I needed to make adjustments. All right, perfect. So I'm actually already in a trade pre-market. We'll see. Maybe 9:30 equities will potentially maybe give you guys an entry point, and then it'll also maybe allow me to scale in some more position. And what this stems from is pretty much 1 hour SMT on the highs, and then we have a SMT between London, New York AM. So I'm just looking at those SMTs and riding price lower. I entered at the high here, taking a partial already. I just moved my stops to break even, and then I'm gonna take off the rest of my position pretty much at London low. I'm gonna leave one contract as a runner, and I'm gonna see if we can go for previous day low. So we have equities open in around 12 minutes here. We'll see what it has to offer. Once we trade past these lows here, I would expect us to have speed. So I'll note that out, speed past these lows, right? And this is what I want to see. The reason is if we're going to activate the sell side of the curve, I would like to see sell side just being run through, ultimately putting us into the sell side of the curve of this grand market maker sell model, right? What do you look for during volatility injection, SMT, or PA confirming your idea? Uh, I look for either one. So if we have SMT before volatility injection, then I look for it to pretty much accelerate in the direction of what I want. Additionally, if we have higher time frame SMTs already, then once we have volatility injection, I look for a lower time frame SMT supporting those higher time frame SMTs, and that could be an entry as well. Yeah, that's what I mainly look for. And then I want to see price really run in my favor. Actually, I just add want to see speed. And that'll be a good indicator that we're gonna go down. Let's see if we can get like a really aggressive run now. I know we still have equities open in like 10 minutes from now, so I'm aware of that. We just tap this low. I would want to see 1 minute or some sort of lower time frame gap form on top of that. And then we can refer to that gap as a high probability fair value gap because now you're coupling it with a breaker block, right? So you have your unicorn model. Yeah, but I apologize. I did go live, I was already in a trade before the live, so it's like I couldn't really call it out. So let's see if this 15-minute candle can close below this these equal lows right here. Once we do, I would want to see the 930 start really speeding up lower into these lows right here, and then create a fair value gap here. And that fair value gap you guys can use to refer to. Not this one specifically, I wouldn't say. Or as of right now, the way price is trading, right? Once again, I need to wait until these 15-minute candles close, then I can really gauge what's going on. So we have this 1 minute fair value gap, not necessarily over that breaker. So see if we can form a 5 minute fair value gap. Let me take a look at chat. Why do you want to see speed at that level? I just want to see speed because if we're in a market maker sell, we should be seeing sell side liquidity being just run through. Another thing I'm aware of is we have previous week high here, right? And so if we have previous week high, this is also previous month high. And so if we end up being bullish, then I would look for previous week high because that's also previous month high. And so if we get cracks in correlation on the lows, then you guys know what to look for, right? If we start to see acceleration lower, then I would expect Tuesday to be high of the week. And we're going to have a classic expansion of a week, most likely. Explain your entry again. Yeah, so my entry was the previous week high SMT to previous day high SMT. I do still look at internal range liquidity, external range liquidity. I still look at market maker models. SMT is just the indication that a market maker model is ready to expand. That's the importance of it. Right. So SMT on its own, right, it's very high probability, but you need, once again, narrative and context. So MMXMs are what gives you narrative and context. No, I didn't wait for that. I just went on a lower time frame to confirm it pretty much. It was the 1 minute. 1 minute we traded into this RDRB. And we started rejecting lower from it. So I just decided to enter here. Stop loss above this high. this is good how YM's driving higher and NQES are failing to trade higher as of right now. This would be a good sign of bearishness. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that 15-minute fair value is going to be revisited because right now you guys have a 5-minute SMT on the highs right here. Yeah, you have a 5-minute SMT on the highs. Once that closes, it's confirmed, but until then, right? Wait for it to confirm. So 2 minutes until this closure. If we close above here, then it looks like a good cracking correlation to continue sells. What gives what gives you confidence to say that it's bearish only because of SMT? I mean, price is bullish with ES. So I'm using context of the higher time frame, right? We have a lot of low resistance and liquidity resting below here, right? Also, we have SMT. That's my model, right? So I really am just following my models. For all I know, like it could go higher and stop me out, but I'm just trusting my model. Trust in the process. So I might add on to my position here. I'll let you guys know if I do. Yeah, I just want to pay attention to this and how 930 opens, right? If we wick high, then looks good for shorts. Yeah, I think so, Rocket. That's what I'm looking at right now. I just want to make sure this is good though. Because you have equities open in literally 10 seconds here. So if we get a good closure, I think NQ, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take a stab here if you want. Like you could take a short right here and then stop above this high right here. So this 5-minute fair value gap, as we're creating this 5-minute SMT, you want to see this respected pretty much and not inverted. You also have this fair value gap resting up here. So just pay attention to these PD rays. Stop loss once again. If you are in this trade, I would put it at this high minimum. And then look for those London equal lows. Not the greatest RR in my opinion, but you could also leave a runner in case price does something that you can never anticipate for, right? And then just starts plummeting. So I've added to my position here. I added one contract just to kind of give you guys that signal if you really want it. And once again, stops would be at this high for the safest stop, in my opinion. Then you're going to want to pay attention to London low because it looks like YM's already driving lower, ES is driving lower. And so I'm anticipating that NQ should follow and try to catch up to these. So now what you want to pay attention to is the 15-minute chart. to see if your higher time frame SMT is going to be invalidated. So if we get a closure below London, right, on ES and YM and NQ fails to, then now you have an opposing SMT, then you would want to manage your trade accordingly. What I usually do is whenever I have opposing SMT is I'll move stops to break even. So if news coming up, do you hold any value in that according to your trade? So I would want to see continuation for my trade. I want to see every volatility injection is exactly what it's called, volatility injection. It means that it's going to make the market speed up. So think of the market is now playing in 2x speed, pretty much. Every time there's a volatility injection, it speeds up to 2x speed, right? So I'm gonna take a partial there. Sorry, let me manage my trade. So I've taken a partial now because we plummeted lower. I'm moving stops to break even, and I'm gonna hold the last 2 contracts I have right now until previous day low if we want to get down there. So stops to break even. I'm gonna move it down for you guys just so you guys have a visual of that. Definitely make sure you take your partials here. And because all 3 assets are trading below London low, I would expect continued downside here. And so once you hit previous day low, this is where I'm going to full close my trade. I'm sorry, I can't really answer questions right now because I'm managing this trade, but give me just like a couple seconds and I got it. So this is going to be my final TP. Maybe leave runner. I'll see if I want to leave a runner once we get there. See how we get there. If we just keep plummeting lower, then I'll leave a runner. If we like start slowing down and we start chopping, right, then I'll make the discretionary decision, and we're doing that. I'll make discretionary decision to full exit. But if we just full on drop through that, I'll leave a runner. So I'm going to take another contract off just to manage my trade. But then I'll have my contract at previous day low and see how it wants to react there. I just need to make sure I'm paying myself along the way. That's 100 points of profit right there. So now I only have one more contract in, so this is just my final TP right here. And then I'll be pretty satisfied on the day. Can't complain. All right, let's read some comments. What did I miss here? Really confident SMT. I read that already. I read that already. I'm it. Okay, I read that already. And then I also read that already. Does your trade only based on SMT? No, it's narrative and SMT. So SMT is a part of narrative, right? So there's all these different tools, the fundamentals. There's market structure. There is order flow, which is your PD raise. And then there is liquidity, right? Well, when you incorporate all three of those things, then you have the three fundamentals. What do those three fundamentals build up? They build up a market maker model. And so that's your narrative. So all of these things that we use to catch trades, they're just tools, right? You use these tools to build a narrative, to understand and have some sort of logic behind the market, right? So that's pretty much it. So it's not just SMTs, it's everything together. You don't use 90-minute cycles, do you? I do. I split the sessions into quarters of their own, and that's the 90-minute cycles I use. I think Zusi uses like different cycles. Show your chart layout, please. I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll just show you guys this. And then you can replay it. I'm bearish, Avelo. I'm about to get out of my trade. Oh, the canvas? It's DCD3C9. That's the hex code. I've given it out so many times that I just memorized the hex code now. But you guys can see, right? Like these lows, this is why I want to see speed past these lows. Because if we're in the sell side of the curve, sell side liquidity should act as a, I guess like a booster. Especially at a volatility injection time. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and close my trade because I'm up a very good amount, and one contract for, I mean, I think it's $50 times 20. It's pretty good. Whatever. I just got out. I don't feel like letting this dance around if it does want to, because I'm watching YM. It's already starting to push up a little bit, so I just closed out my full trade. So that was the trade for today, I guess. Pretty good. Can't complain. Does anyone have questions? Because I mean, that's a very fast, short stream, like this is the move of the day, guaranteed. I don't see it just suddenly SMT and like rocketing higher after that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Cause actually, wait, let me think. How many points is this? Yeah, this is a 200-point move. I really like a previous week high. Got close to it, didn't necessarily tap it, just engineering liquidity. On the higher time frame, we're overall just consolidating. So what we are doing, we're just pretty much banking on higher time frame consolidation. I think we could come down to sweep some of this liquidity and then, create some sort of cracking correlation, come back higher to take out this eventually. But I'm bullish until we get some sort of higher time frame cracking correlation. Yes, sir, IO. Check EU real quick. I'm pretty sure it plummeted as well. Yeah. Whenever you see index futures really clean, expansive move, Forex is moving with it. Bonds should be moving with it as well. Yeah. So this looks pretty good to me. There's an SMT on the highs here that you could have caught this short if you were in Forex. This SMT right here, right? Right, and then same thing, literally the exact same setup. Coin, my long is not looking too good, not looking too pretty. I did take a partial at this high, so, and I moved my stop to break even, so we'll see if it hits. If it hits, it hits. Oil, I would still expect it to go lower. Metals, I have no clue what it's doing. Yeah, I literally just hop on, give a signal, and I'm gonna hop off. So your buys for today was a mixture of higher time frame market maker. So market maker sell model is the narrative, right? My bias is what the narrative tells me. That makes sense. So it's like, what is order flow doing right now? What is market structure doing right now? What is liquidity levels doing right now? Right? So you have to understand how all those things come together. And once you understand the story of price, then you'll be like, oh, okay, this is the liquidity requirement as of right now. We need to take out some sell side liquidity before we can see higher prices, for example. Yeah, actually, that's very true. Game over. It could be another expensive move at 10 a.m. This could be setting up. For all you know, this could be a 9:30 Judas swing, into the lows, creating a 4-hour SMT on the lows. I think that's gotta be pretty far though. No, that's way too far. I don't think we're gonna create. I think if we do, then we're gonna plummet even further lower, and then we'll go higher. If that's the case, wine would have to drive out this low. Let's see. This low. No, it's this low. Actually, no, you might be right. It's possible. So you have these lows right here, this previous week low. If you create an SMT with this, then yeah, I think it valid if you look for another SMT on a lower time frame, for example, right? But as of right now, it just looks like price wants to go lower. And the reason, once again, the narrative of price is not telling me that we should go higher, because we just took out all this buy side liquidity. We just completed this market maker buy model. Looks like we could go for at least this low to create a new market maker sell model, right? And then what is this on a higher time frame, guys? Probably some sort of internal range liquidity on the higher time frame here. What do you know? It's a daily fair value gap. There's no weekly. Okay. Daily fair value gap, for example. And then from there, internal to external range liquidity again. So you start to like see how this works, right? Like if we are bullish, well, the reason we're coming back lower is we took out external range liquidity. We have SMT on the highs. We have a structure telling us we're going lower. We have volatility injection that's pushing price lower. Looks like we could take out this liquidity. Ultimately into discount, this would be internal back to external. So everything comes back to narrative. Like even though I'm using specific tools in this moment right now, it doesn't mean that it's non-existent on the higher time frame. It's still there. Okay, so that should be full close. You're gonna leave a runner if you want. If you leave a runner, target previous week low and then move stop to break even for sure. I'm full out of my trade already, so I can't even. But this is a crazy trade today. Very nice. I think all QT cycles have the same amount of weight. It's just the higher time frame SMTs are more important. So it's like high card rules, right? The higher the time frame, the more power it has. So let's say you have a 4-hour SMT, then you're going to be paying attention to any lower time frame SMTs to continue that bias. So let's say 4-hour SMT here. Well, you need to look for lower time frame SMTs as you push higher, right? Until you get another 4-hour SMT on the high, and then you would need to look for lower time frame SMTs again to push price lower, right? That's literally, this is how the market works. And then you have your market maker models. Like, I really hope this opens some of your eyes to how repetitive this is. How long did it take for your eyes to open like this? Ever since I learned market maker models. And I was like, wait a second, everything I'm learning in context is just the market maker model, right? Like, I actually include this in one of my lectures. It's like, every swing point you see in the market is a market maker model. Look, on the weekly chart, we just had this massive weekly market maker model. This is a market maker model, market maker buy, right? So what could happen next? Potentially market maker sell. But what do we need? Cracking correlation on the lows. I believe we did have one here. I think it was like all the way back here. Like big SMT. Big SMT. Right? It's everything. It's market maker model is literally everything, guys. Like I can't stress it enough. You just need to learn. You're learning the moving parts of a market maker model. You may not realize that, but that's exactly what you're doing. Once you know the moving parts, you just rinse and repeat. Yes, sir. You guys can watch my lectures if you want. It's on my YouTube. It's free. I go like pretty much the full depth of it. Obviously there's like extra things I know, but you know, that's for myself. Okay, so now I'm gonna delete these annotations just so then we have a cleaner chart to work with. Right, so you guys get the picture of the trade we took it from this 5 minute gap, wrote it lower. That was like 200 points for you guys right there. Yeah. How would you implement quarterly theory? Quarterly theory is just a way of looking at time-based liquidity. Like I don't think there's anything like super special about quarterly theory per se. I definitely think Day knows some things up his sleeve that that are like correlated to quarterly theory, but the way I use it is like I look at time-based liquidity, the importance of time-based liquidity. And that's like what I used to focus on. It's like I would focus on previous month high, previous month low, previous week high, previous week low, previous day high, previous day low. And my journals, I like kind of figured it out, but I didn't know that was this deep. And so Day really opened my eyes to like a whole new world. I'm like, wait, that's true. And so ever since then, I ditched the entry models and I've just been entering on SMT. So just think of SMT as like another tool. Think of SMT as it's a fair value gap, for example. SMT is just a fair value gap, you know? And when you see it and the narrative is correct, then you can enter on it. When I entered because it was weekly to daily. If you go down to the 1 minute, there's a micro SMT, and then we traded into a fair value RDRB. Sorry, 1 minute RDRB right here. We had another SMT on the high right here, I believe. Was it this one? Let me check real quick. Yeah, we had an SMT right here. Very small SMT. Can barely see it, but it's still there. And so once we had the SMT, we traded into this RDRB. I was like, okay, this is probably where we're going down from. So this is where I entered from pretty much. Stop loss above this high, protected high from the SMT, looking for lower prices. Make sense? What makes SMT superior to the rest for you? It's literally the high and low of every move. So I'm like, if I'm gonna catch a move, I'm catching the high and low of every move. I know that's like pretty like contradicting to like typical trading advice, like don't try to catch the tops, don't try to catch a bottom. Well, the thing is, you don't try to catch the tops on the macro scale. You can catch the tops and bottoms of the of the internal scales. So it's like if you have a that's exactly what we're doing, by the way. We're picking tops and bottoms every time we trade and get a good trade. It's pretty much what we're doing. So let's say we have a larger scale trade, right? And we have this range. Well, this range right here, this is the higher time frame. The higher time frame, let's say we have an SMT up here, we're like, okay, now we know like we're looking for lower prices because it looks like we have a market structure shift, all that good stuff. Well, the thing is, we're catching the tops and bottoms anyways, because when we have a lower time frame, SMT, you're still catching the high of something. Even if you use the fair value gap like that, you're catching the high of something. No, you're good, Aaron. Higher time frame SMT right now. Sorry, higher time frame market maker model as of right now. I see this. It's not confirmed yet because we don't have an SMT on the highs. So this is the high I'm paying attention to right now. If one of the other two assets, YM or ES, can drive up here, creating an SMT, then I would expect NQ to continue driving lower into at least these liquidity pools. Does that make sense? So it hasn't happened yet. On an intraday basis, say the 5-minute or whatever, market maker sell model, why? Because we have an SMT here, we have an SMT here. So if that's the start of every move, right, then you can start anticipating, okay, it's a very ugly market maker model, but here's your, your accumulation stage right here. Here's your smart money reversal. Here's your distribution, right? Phase. What is this all confirmed by? SMT. There's even another SMT right there. There's an SMT up here. There's an SMT down here. There's an SMT over here. Actually, was there an SMT? No, there was no SMT over here. Right? Does that make sense? So it's like you have your order consolidation. Once again, it's not very pretty. Order consolidation, right? You can extend it out over here if you want. And then if you zoom out, now you'll see an even bigger market maker sell model. It's all fractal, so this one would be definitely cleaner for you guys to see. SMT up there, SMT over here. I believe there's SMT over here. There's going to be SMTs here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this was an SMT over here, right? So you start to see like, oh, we're in a smaller market maker model within a larger market maker model, right? Does that make sense? I really hope that makes sense. It's all fractal. Okay. Bitcoin, I don't trade crypto too much. I just swing trade it. And the most success I've had is just using Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just added total 3 because I got it from someone and I've been trying it out to see if it works. And so far it seems pretty good. I used the SMT on the low here, longed it, got some profit, now it's trailing stop loss. So it seems to be working so far, but based on historical data, this is how I called the move from 24K to like not all-time high. I'm pretty sure I just called it to here. Once we got that, I think we had another see SMT on the low here, so I expected the next phase of the market maker buy model right here. We tap that, we create another SMT down here, so I expected the original consolidation. From there, now we're just kind of chopping around, and now we have SMT on the low again, so I want to see all-time high. That's really the logic. Once again, market maker models, but also SMT. You only look at hidden? No, I don't. I look at all SMTs. Is there SMT now on buy side? No, I don't think so. Don't see any. I mean, there's a SMT on the low right now with previous day low. See how this develops maybe for, right now is 10 o'clock, right? Not super volatile. I think this once again was the bulk of the move today. If this holds and it confirms on the 1-hour chart, then you can start looking for maybe longs again. But until then, you'd need some sort of confirmation at least. which could be an SMT between AM session, PM session. That could be a confirmation as well. Or you see 1 hour structure starting to form and disrespect and start climbing, right? And then you get like a 5-minute SMT here, for example. But yeah, on that note, I'm probably gonna be heading out here, to be honest. Just like get my day started a little earlier since we finished earlier. Type 1 if you're satisfied with the stream. Type 2 if you have any additional questions that you want me to answer before I head out. What's the smallest time frame you use for SMT? For me personally, I use 15 seconds sometimes. All right, perfect. On that note, thank you everyone for joining the stream. As always, any likes, comments, shares are appreciated, and I'll catch you guys in the next live. This week I won't be going live on YouTube anymore because we have high impact news every day, so I'll be in the Discord. However, next week I'll be on YouTube a lot more often. Take care, everyone. Oh, asked about premium. 200 is a lot. I actually reduced the price to $99 per month because I grew the team a little more, so now I don't have to do everything myself. So, yeah. All right. On that note, take care. What's the smallest time frame used for it? Yeah, I think I answered that. 15 seconds sometimes. Is YM's SMT's lower probability or just using wrong? So my opinion on YM is it'll give you a setup and then it's gonna just do its own thing. Like sometimes it'll do that. So if it gives you the setup and you're already in a trade, then just be aware of it. You can move your stop to break even. Manage your trade accordingly. And just let it play out anyways, because you're already in your trade idea. On that note, take care everyone and have a great day. I hope you all caught some W's from that signal. Other than that, take care everyone.